Okay, so to start with, please allow me as the founder of SFLIG and the lead convener from the University of Tasmania to do the acknowledgement of the country. The Systemic Functional Linguistic Interest Group acknowledges the traditional owners of the land where this group was initiated, the Palawa people of the Latutowa Nations. We pay respect to the traditional owners and to elders past, present, and emerging of the land on which all the University of Tasmania campuses stand. On behalf of the University of Tasmania, we acknowledge all countries participating in this conference and also acknowledge their elders and ancestors and their legacy to us. We acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands where our presenters, participants, and SFLIG members live and work across Australia and internationally. It's my true honors to invite Dr. Sally Humry, Senior Lecturer in Literacy Education at the Australian Catholic University, to deliver a welcome speech. Dr. Sally Humry has worked for many years in the field of discipline literacy, English for academic purposes, and social studies in higher education context. Dr. Sally Humry has participated in a number of influential Australian research projects, which have drawn on systemic functional linguistics, wrong and appraisal theory, and rhetoric to support adolescents and adult learners to develop the literacy needed for participation in academic and civic life. It's a great honor for the SFLIG to have you on board, Dr. Sally Humry, and now I present Dr. Sally to everyone. It's over to you now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vin. And it's my real pleasure to welcome you to the Systemic Functional Linguistics Interest Group, SFLIG, and the first international online SFLIG conference. So first of all, for those of you who are not aware of this short but rich history, the SFLIG SFLIG interest group, SFL interest group, whatever you want to call it, was first created on Facebook on the 12th of May in 2014 by Vinto, when Vin was still a PhD student in educational linguistics at the University of Tasmania, Australia, under the guidance of Dr. Tao Lei. Now, with all its faults, Facebook has drawn attention to the incredible geographical and cultural and social breadth of SFL scholarship and the challenges faced by many research students and SFL scholars. Vin took the initiative to provide an informal forum for networking and support for those who are new to SFL. And those who have limited access to SFL resources and discussions with peers and experts. Vin lived and still lives in Tasmania, an island state, separated from mainland Australia. We often forget it's there and just paint the map of Australia without including Tasmania. So she knows what it's like to feel isolated, left off, left out, dropped off. And despite, some great colleagues at the University of Tasmania, she's felt very isolated intellectually as well. So being a member of many professional Facebook groups, which provided her with connection and support, she realized that there was not yet a Facebook interest group for SFL. And so that's how the Facebook discussion group was formed. Now, since the first year of SFLIG on Facebook, where it was sort of in the hundreds, we now have 2,700 members globally as of today, from 100 countries. Now, the group includes nearly 1,400 members from 7 Asian countries that are underrepresented in educational linguistics in research. So that's Pakistan, Indonesia, Philippines, India, Burma, Vietnam, and Thailand. So SFLIG is the main social media discussion group for SFL, and it's really great to see PhD students asking questions and benefiting from responses of peers and experts. And you experts, you all know who you are, or at least Zuckerberg does, I'm sure. But it's, not only PhD students, but teachers and, classroom practitioners really, using SFL not only in a theoretical, but a practical way. So it's a truly inclusive group. In addition to the presence on Facebook, Vin has also been responsible for initiating the organisation of SFL seminars online. So the COVID-19 lockdowns were a big motivation in this direction. And in April 2020, Vin began preparing for a series of SFL webinars, which took place from April to June. So she was very quickly into it and attracted approximately 500 registrations globally. So that's an amazing feat. I don't know of any international conference I've been to that has had that many people, at least not interesting ones. The Facebook discussion group continues to enable networking, resources, and a forum for SFL discussions. However, since April 2020, a number of new social platforms for the SFLIG have been created, including Twitter, website, Gmail, a YouTube channel, and a mailing list. These platforms have enabled us to communicate about current and future group activities and to circulate resources widely. For example, almost all presentations in the 2020 webinar series were recorded and made available on the YouTube channel. And seminar presentations have reached thousands. When the recording from the conferences are added over the next 4 days, SFLIG will probably have more videos about SFL than are available in any other accessible way. So that's an amazing feat, but not all. During 2020, Vin also called for nominations to establish a management team for SFLIG and received enthusiastic responses from the community. The international admin team have been working hard since then, with members representing all 5 continents, and Vin has organised the activities and communication across many time zones to facilitate, often having 2 or 3 meetings so that everybody can be involved in a time zone that they're awake for. So to host this first global online conference, she's collaborated also with her colleagues at the University of Tasmania, the Australian Catholic University, Malloy University in the US, and the University of British Columbia in Canada. The conveners and community and committee members in all include 12 academics from Australia, Asia, Europe, and North America. And I'd just like to acknowledge individually these members. I'm going to read these out in alphabetical order backwards. I just rearranged all the names, so I hope that to be very equitable in this way, because I'm sure that Catherine Accurso just gets too much attention. So I'm changing them around, and we'll have, first of all, Dongbing Zhang, Mus, to those who know and love him, Vin To, Angela Thomas, Jackie Nenshin, Isaac Minlaru, Anne McCabe, Sally Humphrey, myself, David Hicks, Lisa Fontaine, Shoshana Dreyfus, Thomas Amundrad, and Catherine Accurso. So there's the team that have brought you this production, and you know, we know that the conference has received enthusiastic support also from executive members of international and Australian SFL associations, that's ISFLA and ASFLA, from the wonderful plenary speakers, and we thank you very, very much. Louise is here with us now, and we're really looking forward to welcoming others, reviewers, authors, participants around the world. And that's what's made it possible to hold this opening ceremony today and the conference over the next 4 days. We're grateful to all the support. So we've had a lot of feedback attesting to the innovative program and the inclusive organisation of the conference. So I'd like to just briefly describe some of the features that have inspired that feedback. Firstly, the conference is free of charge and is hosted fully online. So there's 2 incredible feats, providing accessibility to all SFL members in the world. The majority of the sessions will be recorded and, with the author's permissions, made available on the YouTube channel. And this will provide flexibility and accessibility to all members, and also enable the broader public to engage with SFL. So secondly, this is the first SFL conference that's co-hosted at the national and international levels, so by Australia and North America. It's also the first SFL conference using the blended model, which includes live presentations and pre-recorded papers and live discussion time for those papers. And I'll give you more more details of the program and how that works in a minute. Just in closing, I want to look ahead and make some comments on the hopes and the desires and plans for future SFLIG events. So led by Vin's visions again, SFLIG intends to continue its activities in a way that can be inclusive of all members, not only during the COVID pandemic, but also into the future. Inclusivity and accessibility are the driving aspirations to achieve the social justice agenda in the spirit of Michael Halliday, Rakaya Hassan, and other foundational SFL scholars. The SFL interest group looks forward to the continued support of all members to achieve its vision.